Her husband dreamed of raising their kids in the States, the land of opportunities. Together, they planned. Together, they moved first to Canada, then to Chicago, and finally to San Diego, California. But before they settled, a tragedy changed their lives. From it, a transformation happened. A financially independent, proud mother of 2 boys emerged. Our guest this week is Azita Khatami, a spiritually strong woman who endured great pain in the first few years of her immigration, but kept her promise. So go ahead, grab your cup of tea, and join me in this episode of Empowering Conversations. Hello and welcome to the Empowering Conversations podcast, a place to get inspired, challenged, and empowered by stories of immigrants who build their success from zero. I'm your host, Mehran.
When me and my husband became parents, we decided to immigrate to Canada for our kids, because in Iran, as you know, there are lots of uncertainty, and we want to provide like a better environment for our kids to grow. And we applied for as a professionals to immigrate to Canada. And we wait long, I think it's about 4 or 5 years. And then when we did our last process, I received a letter and I won the lottery for green card for United States. It really surprised us. And so both immigration process happened at the same time. And then on September 2009, we moved to Canada, but we stayed there for just 10 days. We landed there, and because I didn't want to lose the opportunity to live in Canada. But my husband was a person, he really wants to move to United States. He thought that we have lots of opportunity for our kids and everything. If they want to grow to the end, they may have the opportunity here. And then we moved to Chicago, where my sister-in-law lives. We stayed there for 3 months because from September to December, I experienced a very cold weather over there. And I really couldn't tolerate this cold weather. So we decided to come to San Diego. And at that time, one of our family lives here. She was a student, and she helped us to find a place, and we rent an apartment. And in 10 days in December, where everywhere is closed for the holidays, we could find an apartment. And then my husband went back to Chicago, sent the stuff here for me. My kids started school here in San Diego, and at that time, although it was like my dream to come one day and live in the States, but it's happened that I become so depressed, I feel loneliness. And I remember in summer, the day that the school off, I have a ticket back to Iran, and I say I never go back to San Diego. And then I come back after we spent summer 2010 in Iran. We come back again in San Diego, and my husband stayed 1 month with us and then 1 month in Iran, because actually he was a very successful project manager. He was engineer. He couldn't find a job here, and it was scary for him to just leave his job in Iran. At that time, I didn't do anything, like I didn't work. I just take care of kids, and my younger one was home with me, and the older one was 3rd grade that year. And the whole process of immigration, I think it's very hard for me. Even I think this is the paradise that I picture in my mind. I feel the loneliness that I cannot explain. I feel I have to do all the tasks that I've never done before and back home, because my life was completely different than here. So I have more relaxing time than, being responsible for everything that I was here.
So if I hear that right, at home you had the luxurious life, but
Yes,
outside with your kids and the future of your kids, you saw a better opportunity here.
exactly. And so I think I was not happy and I just passed the time. The only thing make me happy at that time that he's gonna stay with us here, because when he leave, it was very hard for me, and I have a calendar that I take out one paper daily that's counting down that he's coming back. He was a really wonderful husband and wonderful dad, and we have a very good life together. Like, I can say the high quality life someone can have. And it's not all about the financial thing, but we were like very happy family. And I remember my younger son, he needs to do the treatment for the teeth, and needs to be asleep because the doctor couldn't take care of it while he's awake. So my husband came for that reason and stayed with us. And then at the end of April, he went back home, and we supposed to go in June. And then on May 11th, he had a car crash. And my husband actually called me from Iran every day for in our time. He talked with my son like 2-3 hours from 11 to 2-3 p.m. and I think literally he didn't sleep at night because all night he was talking with us. And I see that he didn't call me, and I called him, the phone was off, and I called my sister, my brother, my in-laws. No one answered me, like everyone hiding. The only 4 family we have in San Diego, I see at 9 o'clock she came and knocked the door, and she said, yeah, I took my in-laws to the doctor and I want to come to see you. And I said, okay, I'm not feeling good. I'm calling you and no one answered me, so I feel like worried, but thank you for coming. And she stayed with me all day, and I was surprised why she is with me. And she took me to the mall because let's go for a shopping. And one thing I remember, she find a black shirt for my son, and I said, no, I don't want to buy a shirt because my husband don't like black. And then I see that she cried, so she know everything, but she couldn't tell me. I think never disappeared from my heart. So she was all day with me, and then sister-in-law came from Vancouver and knocked the door and come to me. But she said that my husband has a car accident, and in 10 minutes she told me, you have to be patient. I don't know how to be patient. But the only thing after years I can tell you is the love he had towards our family, to me and my kids, gave me the strength to be who I am today. And it was very hard. I hope no one experienced some sudden tragedy, And the most hardest part was I have actually to be for my kids and to support them and to look after them. So I stay in Iran for 2-3 months, and my family, my in-laws family, they told me, we support you anywhere that you decide to stay. If you want to come back, if you want to stay there, if you want to move back to Chicago. But what I think, and one of my good friends, that she was my dentist, she told me, Azita, you are not in a normal situation that you can make another decision or new decision. If I were you, I would do whatever we decided from the beginning, and then you can always come back, you can always move. But at least in 1 year, maybe you can calm down and adopt the situation. The reason I stay and I fight and I try, because I want to keep his legacy alive. I want to stay and raise my kids here in a way that my husband and I initially think about that. This tragedy really break me down, and I feel like a broken person. But I have 2 kids that I have to be for them. I think immigration by itself needs times to process, because you have to adapt to the new society, new language, new culture. You need to find your secure financial place, which is not easy when you don't have any connection to help you. So this is actually for a normal person, for someone that doesn't have this heavy pain in heart.
Azita's story was the most difficult one to hear and to edit so far. I cried through the interview as I was editing and as I was finalizing this episode. I know how difficult it was for her to talk about it, the accident that changed her life. But there was one reason that she went through the pain. She felt that the lesson that she learned was so grand that she had to share it with every one of you. So let's listen together.
Tell us about the Azita before the accident, because it seems like that accident really changed your life.
I don't know if it's right to say that. I would think I was very spoiled. I was spoiled with my family, especially with my dad. That actually I lost my dad 6 months after my marriage, but my husband filled all the spot in my life. I remember when we came here, he told me, Azita, don't stress yourself about anything. I will make everything right as you wish. This is very kind of him, but I mean, I was not ready for life. So I can say I didn't have any skills how to handle life. I never think that, life by itself, it's not easy. This is not the right perspective that I think life is easy. No, it's not easy. And the easiest way is for sure is not the right way. Life is always has the challenges. But because my husband wants to take all the challenges and obstacles on his shoulder and wants me to be like young girl, to be very happy and just have fun, and he doesn't want me to have any pressure on myself. So I was not ready for any kind of pressure. I didn't work, so I didn't have a work experience. I didn't pay bills. I didn't know how to manage the budget.
How was your English at the time?
The level of my English is what I learned in high school in Iran. We never leave out of Iran, so I never have a conversation.
So before the accident, your English was not that great either. So it was not only you didn't know how to manage money and take care of finances or never worked, you also language-wise was something that you also needed to work on.
Exactly, yes. I have to work in all aspects to empower myself, and along that I was responsible as a single mother for my kids and live in a city that I didn't have any family here.
In addition to immigration and in addition to grieving the loss.
Exactly. I think God helped me to, come along this way. Although I'm happy in a place that we are right now, but I think it's not easy, and I think it's okay, As I get to this point, life is not easy, but we all should have a goal, and all this pain make us stronger, and all this pain has a lesson, and there are many things in our life that we don't have any control, and so we should be ready for anything might happen. But what is important is what we get out of this pain and this obstacle and all these challenges. So you're right, I started college. I think it's take me like 2 years to pass all the English level for English as a second language, and then get the college level English. And I was thinking to take a certificate, and then I can find a job after getting my certificate, my associate degree. And then I remember, and I always appreciate his help, because one of my counselor, he encouraged me. He said, Azita, I know you. I know what type of person you are. Smart, you are a hard worker. So I really encourage you to continue your education and transfer. And the only school that I applied for a bachelor in management information system, the CSU San Marcos. And then I accepted that. And I have some support at that time from Iran, but not recently, after this sanction happened. So in these 3-4 years, kind of nothing. But I'm working now. I could find a job in college. I started working in library, which my happy place always in my life. So I had some time to study there, and I managed to work and have classes while my kids are at the schools. I remember at 2 every day I have to pick up them from school. So we don't have a luxury of a service or, the transportation thing. So every day I have to drop them off. I have to pick them up from school. And then we go home together, cook, and help them with their, homework, whatever they need. And they were so active. Every day they have sport classes like basketball, whatever they like. Both of them try everything because I think even my kids needs to discover what they really like. So they try soccer, basketball, water polo, and they stay with basketball. Both of them really love basketball. Originally, the reason that we decided to immigrant was for my kids, because we really want the kids have a better educational and environmental opportunity, and the freedom, all the things that in our country everybody is struggling for their rights. So we want our kids to have their rights and to be themselves and grow and follow their dream. And I'm happy that we did this, we make this decision, and I'm happy that we are here today.
That's quite incredible.
As you heard, Azita moved to the States with her family because of a dream they had for the boys. Her oldest son recently graduated from high school and will be attending UCSB. Her youngest one just finished middle school. Aside from being a proud, loving mom, Azita got to follow her own dream as well. She will soon be graduating with her Bachelor of Information Management and is debating whether an MBA is the right path for her or not. This is a huge transformation, isn't it? So for every Azita out there, believe in yourself. Coaching tip: spend as much time on your own career development as you spend on your kids. True independence brings true confidence. And true confidence brings true happiness.
So tell me about the Azita that emerged after this tragedy.
I find a new identity for myself. It's like transfer me to a person that I'm looking for solution. And if something like my husband's death, that there is no solution, I become a person to accept the reality of my life. I was not this person before. I become so resilient, so patient. And I enjoy everything that I earn, even if it's the small thing. My son sometimes compliments me about this, that, Mom, why are you so happy? And whatever happened, I said, okay, take a breath, let me think. What is your alternatives? What do you think we can do to make it better? I was not this person. I panic with every single thing. And I think now life is the real life. So I can say I like this version better than what I was.
I'm curious, what advice would you give the newly immigrated version of yourself? Now let's think back to the time that you just moved to Chicago and your husband was there. What advice would you give to that Azita right now if you could give her an advice to make her life a little easier?
I think I waste my time a lot before. Time is a precious thing for everyone. And we should, if we see that this time that we are alive, that we are able to do things, it's valuable, it's blessing. So, and if I focus more on the good things that I could do, I could stay home even in the cold weather and online learn English, I could empower myself with whatever I need for a new society. But I just maybe waste my time and think, oh my God, this is very cold, When I come, I just see these obstacles and the challenges. But this is the place that I really wish to come. So when I come, when I earn what the environment that I love my kids to be there, so I have to pay for the risk and for the challenges. So when I came here, when I have a goal, I have to focus more on adapting and learning.
Were there times that you gave up and, I don't know, early on, you might have thought, oh, I want to go back. This is it. I cannot do it.
There was a time that I was so tired, missed my husband, feel loneliness, all of them. But I never gave up because I really feel dedicated to achieve this goal that we set from the beginning. So this is the only strength I think I have, that I never gave up. It was really hard, but I think God helped me, and I have so many good people around me.
That's pretty beautiful. If you could give a message to someone who's listening to you right now and they are depending on their spouse, their parents, or someone else, to provide to them. It's that spoiled version of yourself, perhaps,
Yes.
What advice would you give them?
Being dependent on someone, it just originates from love and care and support and all the good reasons. I think it's not right. Maybe this is not the culture that we have in our country, and we think this is the good way of treating your loved one. But I think on the other hand, we kind of making our loved one disabled. And if something happened for me, at the beginning, I didn't know what to do. Right now, even for my kids, I really try hard to make them independent. Whenever I ask them to do something, it's not about I want them to help me. It's for them to be independent. So my son is 18 now. He's going to college, but I feel that he can do, stuff that he needs to do. So if I feel that I just love him and I want to take care of everything, so when he go to college, he feel frustrated because need to find the food, need to do the laundry, need to do everything. So I think even if we have this care and support and loves in our life, we have to be prepared. It's not about thinking that one day if I need something, I think it's not about that. It's about independent emotionally, financially, feel that we can do. We shouldn't think there is someone out of ourselves to give us love, to give us care. That's the big emptiness happened to me. And I think everyone should grow to the best of themselves in all the aspects. So this is my advice. Don't be scared of going through the challenges. Just try to be a strong person that you want to be. And I think this life is really fragile. And we don't know what happened next or what's the next day hold for us. But we have to be prepared.
What is your dream, Azita?
I don't have one dream. I think every day is a gift, and I have a dream like every day to have a productive life with my kids, to be happy, to going further. My dream, actually, I can say that when I see my kids, that they are successful, they are happy with themselves, they are people who willing to help others and find the meaning of their life. This is my dream. This is because the way I see the world, we are here to learn. We are here to help. And we are here to spread the love. It's not a point that maybe I never have a dream about to have a big house or, I like traveling around the world, discovering, but my dream is like to be a good person, to be in a right path as a human should be. I can wrap up with being grateful, being pure person, and spread the love is the key to be successful and happy. I think I'm very blessed to have a chance to be mother of my kids, and I love them. I always honor my husband's hard work towards our family, and he is the best person, the best mentor in my life. Even now when I remember his thought and his, perspective in the life, it's still brightening my day. I have many good people in my life here, and beside the reason that we came here for our kids, I think this was the best place for me to live as a single mother. And I feel so blessed for this community. And thank you so much again for your time.
Thank you. This was beautiful. That was a beautiful ending.
Today you heard the story of a spoiled woman who loved her husband deeply but felt disabled by his care and protection. Someone capable of becoming a college-educated, financially independent mother of 2 boys. This is not a miracle. This is a power of determination. This is realizing someone's own potential. Now I'm curious. What part of Azita's story resonated with you? How did listening to her story inspire you to make a change? What will you do today as you're staying home because of the pandemic? Azita will be reading the comments on our YouTube channel, our Instagram, iTunes, Stitcher, so make sure you write for her. Let her know that you heard her story and you will make the change in your own life. As always, thank you for listening and sharing immigrant stories like Azita's with your friends. You, my audience, mean the world to me, and I know I will see you and your friends in the next episode of Empowering Conversations, where all of us can learn from successful immigrants, one conversation at a time.